Obozeghie, welcome to Tuesday. Now, the All Progressives Congress, APC, and the Labour Party 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi are in a war of words over an alleged threat to the life of the former Anambra State governor, that's Peter Obi. Well, this is a fallout of a Sunday interview by the National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Felix Morka, who claimed that Obi has crossed the line in his recent criticism of President Bola Tinubu's administration, asking Obi to, at this point, have whatever he gets. But on Monday, Obi, in a reaction via his verified X account, wrote a piece, and it was asking if he has really crossed the line. And then he attached a YouTube link for us to go see that interview again, which is on YouTube. He wrote, "Have I really crossed the line? I ask the question because my New Year message has now led to threats against my life, my family, and those around me. While I have received all sorts of messages, one Mr. Felix Morka has gone further to accuse me of crossing the line and has warned that I will face the consequences. I find it necessary to share this message again and urge everyone who has not seen it to watch." That was where he attached the YouTube link. And he says, "If I have truly crossed the line, I invite anyone to point it out as I remain committed to upholding decorum. However, I will not be silenced in my resolve to speak truthfully, especially as our nation continues to drift towards undemocratic practices. We are increasingly transforming into an authoritarian and repressive regime where freedom of expression is being systematically suppressed. May God help us create a better and freer society for the sake of our children." And it was signed by him personally, PO, right there. Now, Esteem, in reaction to this, says, "You have not crossed any line. As a matter of fact, they are the ones who have constantly and consistently been crossing the lines. Speaking truth to power is not a crime anywhere in the world. Do not be cowered into silence." And yeah, Adefemi says, "You too, keep quiet, I guess." And he says, "And work on how you will win in the next election. You talk too much, and I don't believe in too much talk." So he was going to say that Tinubu wasn't like that. He had to do the work and then made it to power. For Khalifa, he says, "I don't see any wrong in that video. Make Tinubu self sit down and walk. Egypt today, London tomorrow, South Africa next, Russia, USA next month, France next. Now, so other country president, they travel. Kilo day, it just they travel." Okay, final thoughts from Olusegun would be that he said, "Please take their threat very serious. Till today, nobody knows what happened to Bola Ige and Fusho Williams." And he says, "We love you, Peter Obi." So this is why Peter Obi is trending, because he's alleging threats to his life by you know who. And now the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has announced the dismissal of 27 officers from its workforce. They were dismissed in 2024 for various offenses that border on fraudulent activities and misconduct. Now, according to the anti-graft agency on Monday on their X handle, their dismissal followed the recommendation of the Staff Disciplinary Committee of the EFCC, and then it was ratified by the chairman, Ola Olukoyede, for his commitment to zero tolerance for corruption. Now, he says that sinister activities and impersonation and blackmailers using the name of the EFCC boss to extort money from high-profile suspects are warned, as Olukoyede remains a man of integrity that cannot be swayed by monetary influence. Now, those are the words of the EFCC, and then they are asking the public to always report disreputable element to the commission. Now, where the problem is for netizens is that the people who have been dismissed, now former staff of EFCC, no name, no pictures. And that is why EFCC is trending. So let's see. This user, in reaction to official EFCC, which is their handle, says, "I want to know if the EFCC officers who went to a hotel and broke into a receptionist's room, slapped her several times, and also manhandled her, if they were among those dismissed." He says, "I think if we truly have activists for human rights, they should follow up and ensure justice is done." So that's his concern right there. Now, Foundational Delta is reacting to, and he says, act like an organization meant to combat financial crime for once and publish the names and photos of the dismissed officers like you always do to Yahoo boys. We aren't asking for too much at official EFCC. Okay, more thoughts from another user on X also will be from King Zaza, who says, great job. Can't help but think their names should be published so that public is aware, and this will deter them from going around parading themselves as staff. Yeah, that's been the story and the development in reactions to all of this on X. So basically, most netizens have said the same thing. We need their pictures and we need their names. We need to know who actually left, if indeed someone and some people left. So we just had to keep it short at that. And now the Federal Capital Territory Police Command on Monday arrested about 50 suspects for vandalism and theft of manhole covers within the FCT. Now, about 25 manhole covers, 3 vehicles, vandalized solar street lights, galvanized rods used in the construction of flyovers, other tools used in vandalizing these government installations, and several other exhibits were also recovered. And now the FCT Police Commissioner Olatunji Disu stated this at a news conference on Monday, saying that the investigation revealed that the suspect operated as part of a larger network selling stolen manhole covers to scrap dealers, and this is why this is in the news this morning. Well, the FCTA has been commended for the swift action after the video went viral. So yes, they've been arrested, 50 of them, according to the FCT Police Commissioner. And then Mezier says, inasmuch as I don't encourage theft and destructions of public properties, it must be noted that hunger is the harbinger of social vices. It says an employed citizen or a well-to-do citizen who receives encouragement from the government, no matter how little, is less likely to go out on the street to destroy and steal public properties, let alone spending much time at the wee hours to steal an erosion control slab, which can't even adequately afford 1 square meal when sold. Okay, in another reaction to this one, Sir Dennis says, okay, respect to the quick response of the Minister Wike. We might have our differences against our leaders, but this quickness to respond is admirable. We salute your effort to restoring dignity and respect, the power of social media. Absolutely. Okay, Don Wayne says they should also arrest the buyers. There is no how they will say they don't know those things were stolen. Yeah, people reacted to this and said that makes sense. For Daniel, he says maybe the new specification for this component should be some composite. It says consisting mainly of plastic and some kind of alloys. Challenges like this bred opportunities, #innovate. So he's saying that instead of the iron that we've had, maybe we could go soft this time and make sure that, make it difficult for it to be stolen. And then the founder of Landmark Africa Group, Paul Uwanibe, has spoken about the impact of the sudden demolition of Landmark Leisure Beach, which wiped out over $30 million in investment and over 1,000 losses of jobs. So he was speaking in a podcast that is available on YouTube. So we'll see that video and then we have some reactions.
I mean, to be fair, it probably took another 2 or 3 months before it came.
So there was no meeting?
Till today, nobody picked up the phone, called me or wrote to me personally and said, here's the issue you have, here's what's going to happen. But that site we bought in 2006, 18 years ago, and we paid $17 million in 2006. We borrowed $30 million to develop that beach. The pain and the hurt is that we spent $30 million developing the infrastructure on that beach. But you know, the biggest tragedy of this were the businesses that were affected by the losses of revenue. We had a beach hotel, and people were sleeping in the hotel when the demolition started. We didn't have time to take the fridges from the rooms, the TVs from the walls, the mattresses from the beds, the pictures on the walls. We didn't have time to take the plates from the kitchen. There were guests in the pool. There were over 160,000 members of the beach. And someone has decided, or a set of people have decided, that a road infrastructure project is more important than socio-economic activity along that 700-kilometer coastline. Look, unfortunately, I was the first kilometer.
Were you compensated for this?
Not a penny. Till date, we haven't been compensated.
Is there a promise?
Nobody has written to me and promised.
So that's the state of things for him right there. 2 reactions and then we're done with this story. So for Dabies on Instagram, he says, after the whole demolition, they abandoned the project. How they sleep at night, I don't know. And then also in reaction to this from Instagram too, is another user who is also reacting to this one. He says, so heartbreaking to see investors and business owners go through so much pain of guiding empires on credit just for some cursed individuals to come and demolish it like it's a little halt. I feel so terrible for him, and whoever supports this evil shall receive this kind of injustice meted on them 1,000,000 folds, amen, melted on them, really. And then we had reactions who had said, oh, you were given 7 days and then you still went ahead, they didn't come for months, you still gave out the place and all. To our final story for today, Nigerian British professional boxer and 2-time world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua had been in Nigeria. He's had so good a time that he's inviting people outside Nigerians to come home and have a feel of what it's like here. So he was speaking when he was hosted, himself and his family were hosted by the chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Erewa. So let's see that video.
How are you guys? I hope you're well. Everyone in the diaspora, I hope everyone's good, had a good Christmas and New Year. I'm here live in Lagos. If you haven't been here yet, I advise you to book your ticket ASAP. Come home, come see the family, come see the friends, come see your people. It's an amazing place. You have to get to know it yourself though. I can only tell you, but I can't show you. You have to be here. So listen, if you can, come join us. We're having a great time out here. We had some good breakfast, yam, egg, moi moi, plantain, amala, malt Guinness. Everything is 10-10.
Okay, so he says he's eating so much, including amala. So if you are up there, you can only see pictures. You have to come home and see that for yourself. Thank you so much.